In the small town of Eldridge, the forest loomed large, a tangled mass of ancient trees known as the Whispering Pines. Legend had it that those who entered the woods after sunset would hear the trees calling their names, leading them deeper into the darkness until they were never seen again. One evening, a group of friends Sarah, Jake, and Lily decided to test the legend. They laughed and joked as they ventured into the woods, the last rays of sunlight filtering through the thick canopy. The air was cool and crisp, a stark contrast to their warm, boisterous energy. As they wandered deeper, the laughter faded. The trees grew denser, and an unnatural silence enveloped them. Sarah glanced at her watch. It was almost dusk. Maybe we should head back, she suggested, unease creeping into her voice. Oh, come on. We can't leave yet. We haven't even found the heart of the forest, Jake replied, his bravado masking his own apprehension. They pressed on, and as darkness settled, the atmosphere shifted. A chill seeped into the air, and shadows twisted in the corners of their vision. Then they heard it, a faint whisper, like a breeze rustling through leaves, but it was calling their names. Did you hear that? Lily asked, her eyes wide. It's just the wind, Jake dismissed, though he sounded less certain. But the whispers grew louder, a cacophony of their names intertwined with soft, pleading voices. Sarah. Jake. Lily. The sound was mesmerizing, pulling at their hearts like a siren's song. Sarah felt a chill crawl up her spine. We need to go. Now. As they turned to leave, the path behind them seemed to vanish, swallowed by the darkness. Panic set in. They stumbled forward, hoping to find the way out, but the trees closed in around them, their gnarled branches like skeletal hands reaching out. Suddenly, Jake stopped, his face pale. Look, he pointed ahead. A figure stood among the trees, its features obscured by shadows. It beckoned to them, a skeletal hand extending, fingers curling like roots. Don't, Sarah screamed, but it was too late. Jake took a step toward the figure, entranced. The whispers escalated, drowning out her voice, calling him home. Jake, come back, Lily shouted, but he was already moving toward the darkness, his expression blank. In a panic, Sarah grabbed Lily's arm, pulling her back. We have to run, they turned and sprinted, branches clawing at their clothes and skin, the whispers transforming into anguished screams that echoed through the trees. With each frantic step, the forest twisted, leading them in circles. Exhaustion clawed at their lungs, but they couldn't stop. Then, as they stumbled upon a clearing, they saw Jake standing motionless, staring into the void. Jake, Sarah cried, tears streaming down her face, but he didn't respond. He was lost to the whispers. The figure emerged from the shadows, revealing a face twisted in agony, a reflection of what Jake would become if they didn't escape. Sarah felt a surge of desperation. We can't leave him. Lily shook her head, tears mixing with dirt on her cheeks. We have to save ourselves. The figure reached for Jake, and for a moment his eyes flickered back to life. Help me, he whispered, but before they could reach him, the ground trembled and shadows erupted from the earth, dragging him down. No, Sarah screamed, but the whispers filled her mind, urging her to join him, to let go. She fought against the pull, gripping Lily's hand tightly. Run, Lily shouted, and they sprinted back into the woods, hearts racing, the darkness closing in around them. They ran until their legs burned, the whispers fading into the background. Finally, they burst through the tree line, collapsing onto the familiar path leading to Eldridge. As dawn broke, they turned back, panting, but the whispering pines stood silent, as if nothing had happened. Yet, as Sarah looked down at her shaking hands, she realized they were stained with something dark, something that would never wash away. And deep within the forest, a new whisper floated on the wind, calling for the next unsuspecting souls who dared to challenge the night.